Hello, my name is Gavin Nelson. I'm going to have a brief talk about why America should not only push for, but also should strive to use more nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is an incredibly helpful and powerful energy source. And while, of course, there are major concerns when it comes to not only the waste, as well as potential radioactive dangers, as well as, of course, terrible incidents like Chernobyl, Fukushima, but because of current modern technology, especially in terms of not only the way we make nuclear reactors, as well as monitor them, safety features, as well as how we get rid of waste, we have significantly not only reduced, but pretty much gotten rid of a decent portion of the concerns, at least in comparison to major nuclear accidents like Chernobyl. We use a completely different style of core than we do in Chernobyl. And in terms of Fukushima, we looked heavily at how Fukushima went wrong, essentially, and how they didn't have the correct emergency procedures. And so we made sure that the reactor could keep cooling in a situation similar to Fukushima. And while, of course, when dealing with something like nuclear energy, there is still things are going to go wrong. But with how we currently not only operate and make nuclear energy, even on a severe reactor meltdown, there should be little to no immediate deaths, with the biggest problem being radiation exposure in the immediate area around the reactor, with severe an unlikelihood, I guess, of anything major happening unless you were, in the reactor room when it happened. In terms of waste, most of waste, isn't terrible at all, with how we contain it at the very least. A decent portion of it is also turned into glass or concrete, and it can even be used as further nuclear fuel, and in fact would make already incredibly efficient nuclear energy even more efficient. And in fact, France already has multiple reactors that allows them to use said waste, and they already have the technology for it and the capability of doing it. And in terms of how efficient and how energy efficient, how most importantly costly nuclear energy can be, which is one of the biggest concerns in terms of nuclear energy, is the cost. It is actually one of the third most competitive cost-wise energy sources. And while the highest beginning investment, it also gives you the highest return. And in places like Sweden, where they've passed multiple laws to encourage the use of renewable energy sources, it is the third most efficient and, most importantly, cost effective. It is the third most lucrative, if you will, energy source that you can get into, which is important because if no one's willing to invest into the energy source, then it won't happen. Nuclear energy is an incredibly potent energy source, and while there are, of course, concerns, we have had it for 80 years now. And in those 80 years, we have learned more. We've delved deeper to not only safety technologies, but also figuring out ways to make it more efficient, as well as decrease the chance that there is, a reactor meltdown in the first place. And that is my talk.